Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we conclude with part 13, The True Brotherhood of Man, of The Brotherhood of Man by J.E. Richardson TK. Chapter 13, The True Brotherhood of Man. We come now to the final analysis, the final step, the final measure, the final test, by which we shall determine with scientific certainty whether our Brotherhood of Man meets the requirements of the great universal brotherhood by which God or nature fixes the full measure of its final value and determination. By the simple test of universality alone, we have found that among all the many brotherhoods, such as the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers, the Brotherhood of Carpenters, the Brotherhood of Barbers, the Brotherhood of Fruit Growers, the Junior Order of American Mechanics, the American Federation of Labor, the various religious brotherhoods, the social brotherhoods, the fraternal brotherhoods, the political brotherhoods, the Brotherhood of Socialism, the Brotherhood of Anarchism, the Brotherhood of Communism, every one has proven inadequate and insufficient. Its failure and imperfection are proven by two distinguishing factors. One, that the tie of mutual interest which binds the members together is selfish. Two, that its membership is strictly exclusive and limited to a single class. The same may be said with equal sincerity and truth concerning every other form of brotherhood among men, limited to same conditions. Its fatal weakness lies in the fact of its selfishness and lack of universality. Wherein, if at all, does the Brotherhood of Man, which has been defined, analyzed, and elucidated, fall short of the exalted standard of our definition? Let us submit it to the final test, that there may remain no shadow of uncertainty as to its accuracy, sufficiency, and universal application. It meets every condition as follows. 1. The tie of mutual interest is one which binds its members in one common bond with the broad, universal, prevailing, and all-comprehensive purpose, which unites them in a single fellowship with a mutual endeavor as its central inspiration to action. 2. It is a work of education in which all members are inspired by the same motive and impulse to give and receive under the great law of compensation without material fee or reward. 3. It has in mind the greater benefit and evolutionary unfoldment and development of all men, both within and without the strictly limited membership of the Brotherhood. 4. It has the unselfish desire and purpose to become worthy and constructive servants of humanity, and thus extend the helping hand of brotherly love, relief, and truth to all mankind. Bear in mind the definite purpose and occupation of each and every individual member of the Brotherhood of Man are those of education. As a brotherhood, it is one great, crystallized educational institution in which the business of every member is to acquire the knowledge which the brotherhood has to give, then become a duly qualified instructor to pass on the curriculum of study to his less advanced fellows. Thus each member receives and he gives, and thereby finds that his purpose and occupation become one, and that he thereafter devotes himself to the business of life, the discharge of his personal responsibility under the great law of compensation. He is now an educator, charged with the business of serving his younger brothers as guide and fellow traveler among the evolutionary pathway of life towards the goal of individual endeavors. In this goal of individual effort, he is seeking not alone for knowledge of life upon this planet of Earth. He has come to know much of the life of the spiritual and something of the life and evolutionary unfoldment of the soul. Thus, the vista of knowledge, of wisdom, of power, and of possibilities of individual human unfoldment gives to him an evolutionary perspective that inspires his courage, hope, faith, and determination to go onward and ever onward towards the limitless expanse of the infinite. But there is one vital point you are not to overlook nor forget. It is this: while it is true that the active membership of the Brotherhood of Man is limited to those who have received the instruction and have themselves become instructors, all of them, both receivers of knowledge and givers of knowledge, concerning the great problems of life, are vastly more than mere members of the Brotherhood of Man. They have reached the point of individual evolution where they are recognized and likewise recognize themselves as brothers of all mankind. They know that they are brothers, real soul brothers, of the black man, the brown man, the red man, the yellow man, and the white man. They know that they are, deep down within their inmost soul, brothers of the evolutionary infants of earth life, for whom it is their privilege, their responsibility, their pleasure, and their pride to render such constructive service as lies within their power. They know that they are, likewise, brothers of the evolutionary children of earth, the youth, the mature, and the aged, whom it is their mission to serve. They know that they are brothers of the weak, the strong, the great, the small, the wise, the ignorant, the good, and the evil. They know that they are brothers of the criminal, the dishonest, the bestial, the murderer, the selfish, and the greedy, whom they must help. They know that they are brothers of those who foment strife, agitate discord, incite wars, live upon the crimes of lust, rampant in every form of degradation and sin, and yet these are their charges, for whom they are responsible. They know they are brothers of all mankind, that it is their mission, their duty, their responsibility, their earnest desire and endeavor to serve them all. They have affection for them because they are all children of God or nature, and the protecting shelter of the great law rests over them. They would go out in gentle charity and tender mercy to all who have not grown to the evolutionary stature of responsibility. Those they would lead by the hand of love. They would serve them and help them and instruct them in a knowledge of nature's beneficent purposes, and finally would point them to the pathway of duty. These are not mere figures of speech. They are the simple facts of nature, and they are exemplified every day, the world over, by those who have entered into the work of the great school of natural science and found their educational stations, where they can best serve those who most need the help of an elder brother of humanity. This also is the occupation, the business, and the profession of a member of the real Brotherhood of Man, to render to his younger brother whatever service he shall need, whether physical, mental, moral, spiritual, or psychical. The responsibility is on the real brother, because of his greater knowledge and richer wisdom, to determine the real need to be supplied and the service to be rendered. To his keener vision and broader knowledge, he may observe that his younger brother, who has not yet arrived at the evolutionary status of discretion, is lacking the knowledge, the wisdom, and the discretion to determine in advance that which shall render to him the largest service and richest reward at any given time, as the loving mother may find her child lacking the knowledge and discretion to determine the appropriate need or service of the hour. The responsibility of fitting the need to the occasion becomes hers and not the child's. With all the mother love of her heart, she accepts the burden with joy and enthusiasm, because she knows the immaturity and the lack of judgment that would impel the child in its immature decision and choice. So with her great discretion, she may find it the part of wisdom to deny the child the present fulfillment of its childish dream. She may find that personal responsibility shall compel her to withhold the coveted prize, that time and circumstances shall prove the wisdom of her judgment. So it is that the elder brother shall give or withhold from his younger brother whatsoever his greater knowledge and experience shall suggest to his greater discretion and wisdom. He must carry the burden of responsibility and point the way to constructive unfoldment. In the great school of natural science, the masters point the way for their students. They journey with them over the pathway of initiation. They also must give or withhold whatsoever the constructive unfoldment of the student demands. Physical, spiritual, mental, moral, or psychical. They must not only know the way that leads to the goal of mastership, but they must see that the initiate, through his personal effort, travels every step of the way, conforming his life to the constructive demands of the great law. The Brotherhood of Man is but another name for the same great work. It is but the crystallization and perfect ideal of which the School of Natural Science is the working model and the living exemplification. Together they constitute a splendid unit in scope, method, and purpose, and henceforward the ideal and the working model shall merge into the real Brotherhood of Man. Thus have the masters among mankind glimpsed the perfect design which God has planned upon the trestle board of nature and patterned upon the evolutionary scheme of individual life. By his conscious and voluntary personal effort has man become the working unit in the great school of life. By his intelligent personal effort and accumulated wisdom of experience has he added the evolutionary impulse of his individual energies to the greater impulse of nature, and together the two, working in conscious and intelligent harmony to one sublime culmination, have attended their final consummation in the great universal brotherhood. We are all brothers in this sublime organization. We are all, as individuals and as brothers, obligated to help each other to travel the way of evolutionary unfoldment. We are all, as elder brothers who have gone before, responsible to guide and uplift our younger brothers as they climb the mountain of individual growth and development. We are all fellow travelers. We are here to live and to exemplify the universal brotherhood of man. And now that we have found our working stations within the greatest institution of which humanity has definite knowledge, let us go forward with ever-increasing courage and determination towards that great goal of nature's universal brotherhood of man, that goal which is the exemplification of moral accountability in the mutual discharge of personal responsibility. So mote it be. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.